Welcome back, guys. Have you ever met somebody and thought, wow, so this is love? No, I'm kidding. But have you met somebody like that and like, wow, oh my gosh, this must be love? And then you're like, hold on, wait, why does this feel like a toxic group project? Well, today we're asking the messy but necessary question: is it love or just trauma bonding? Raw conversations, real feelings, and no copay. This is Am I the Patient? Welcome back to Am I the Patient? This is the podcast where we look at life, love, and healing through a therapy lens, but we make it real, we make it funny, and we make it make sense. I'm your host, Miss J, and today we're diving into a topic that's going to step on some toes, okay? Trauma bonding. And I am so excited about this topic, and just wait till we get to the Am I the Patient moment. I might drop some jaws. But anyway, we're going to talk about trauma bonding because sometimes we have a connection that we swear is just, oh my goodness, it's just so soul deep when all it is just pain, recognizing pain. Okay. So let's start with this. So we've all had that one connection that has felt intense, like can't stop talking, can't keep your hands off each other, soulmate in 48 hours type of vibe, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes what feels like fate is actually just pain, recognizing pain. So that's what trauma bonding is. It's basically a connection rooted in shared wounds and not shared values. So trauma bonding happens when two people connect over survival, struggle, and or chaos, or all of the above. Maybe you both grew up in dysfunctional homes. Maybe you both just left toxic relationships. Maybe you're both used to love being a little dramatic. So peace and calm and non-toxic relationships feel boring. And listen, trauma bonds can be sneaky because they feel so passionate and it's just like, that's that love. They feel like finally, oh my goodness, somebody finally gets me. But the connection is often built on intensity and not intimacy. Okay. So it's like bonding over both hating your ex, for example, and then realizing 3 months later, y'all actually don't have anything in common except for, I don't know, the playlist that you made dragging that ex or those exes. Yeah. Okay. So here are some signs that, take it or leave it. If the shoe fits, I always say wear it. That it could be trauma bonding and it's not love. Okay. So one, it could be that you moved way too fast. The relationship went from 0 to 100. It feels like a roller. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping around on my script. Oh, it moved way too fast. So if you're trauma bonding, you skip steps. Like it doesn't have that slow building relationship. It's just like zoom straight to the top. It's literally like I love you before. Wait, what's your last name again? So one, it moves too fast. Two, the relationship feels like a roller coaster. So high highs and the low lows. The constant push, the constant pull. Okay. Number three, you feel addicted. Even when you know the relationship is unhealthy, you just can't seem to leave. So the relationship moved too fast. The relationship feels like a roller coaster. You feel addicted. And then four, you bonded through pain instead of growth. So like all of your deep conversations are about trauma, but not about joy, values, or goals. And then last but not least, the peace feels uncomfortable. So if calmness in the relationship feels like a disconnection, that could definitely be a sign that that is trauma bonding and not love. So just a quick recap. Just to, like I said, a few, some signs, take it or leave it. But one, the relationship moved too fast. Two, the relationship feels like a roller coaster. Three, you feel addicted to that person. Four, you bonded through pain instead of growth. And then five, the peace, the calm, it feels uncomfortable. So let's be real. Not every intense relationship is a trauma bond, right? Sometimes chemistry is just chemistry. But here's the difference. Love is steady, love grows, and then love builds safety, right? Especially that piece. Love builds safety. Trauma bonds, they burn fast, they crash hard, and they leave you wondering, what the heck just happened? Love is like a fireplace. It's warm, it's consistent, it's safe. Trauma bonding is like setting your whole kitchen on fire. It's hot, but do you really want to live like that? And I love that analogy because it's like, yeah, the fire is nice. You got fire on both sides, that passion, that build. But the fireplace is more controlled. It's more consistent. It's safe. I love that word. Although, of course, if you want to use this analogy, fireplaces can become unsafe, but that's beside the point. And so you get that in comparison to just, yeah, set the whole place on fire and like, yeah, see, it's hot, it's burning, it's intense, but your whole house is on fire. Okay. So yeah, I moved through those pretty quick, but I was just really excited to get to the am I the patient moment. So like you guys know, I am a therapist and I say it so many times. I need like a nickel or something. But I can't indulge too much because of HIPAA, but it just made me think, and I really literally just had this epiphany writing this episode, that I had this client and she was in a relationship with a person for I want to say 20 plus years. We'll say 20 plus years. And she literally, I can just remember her describing that relationship. And, there would be times we talked about how it's familiar and how it's hot. No, not hot. Or how it was passionate. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was trauma bonded to that dude. That is crazy. And so and it's funny because I'm going to be a little vulnerable right now. When I first got the client, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know about her situation and what she's going through. Like I said, I'm not going to divulge too much. But like, I was like, I don't know if I can work with her. But then all of a sudden, like, oh my goodness, I get it. I have this empathy where I didn't know I could have empathy. And the way she would explain it, like, and this is more specifically to that relationship that she was in, like, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. So basically they were kids, and I think she is still in touch with him. But yeah, they were in a relationship when they were teens up until a long, long time after. But she is married now and she had kids with her now husband, and she's living happy, and I'm really excited for her. I think about her often, and I'm really excited to hear about where her journey is going to continue to take her. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so if I wish I could give more details, but honestly, I can't believe I had that epiphany after working with her. It's so bizarre. And it also goes to show, like, hey, just because, you leave therapy or you graduate, quote unquote, therapy, or you were with a therapist maybe one session or 2 sessions and it just didn't fit. We still think about these clients after the fact, and sometimes years later, or they'll pop into my mind and it's like, yeah, I remember you, and I remember that time, and I remember this session, I remember we talked about this, and oh my goodness, I hope you're doing well. I think about a good majority of my clients, and I hope they all are doing well. But anyway, I am digressing again. But it's so funny that I had that epiphany after working with her. But yeah, I just think about everything that she told me about this relationship that she had. And I'm like, yeah, you guys were trauma bonded. They've been through probably, they've probably shared their trauma with each other. They had trauma together. Um, they've been through grief together. They've been through being teen parents together. They've been through what else? I can't think of the specifics, but yeah, I'm just like, ooh, yeah, y'all are trauma bonded. And it's so, I think it's the reason I bring it up because it's so funny that I just now had that realization, which is funny. So I'm like, yeah. So anyway, let's get back on track talking about, is it love or is it a trauma bond? Now, if you're listening and you're wondering, is my relationship love or is it trauma bonding? Just ask yourself this. Does the relationship make me feel safe or does it just make me feel alive? Because those two aren't the same thing. And if you realize you might be in a trauma bond, it's no shame. It's no shame in your game. That's okay. Awareness is the first step. And honestly, awareness is the first step in a lot of mental health challenges and what we go through in life. Just being aware of it. So awareness is the first step. You could go to therapy. You can journal. You can surround yourself with healthy connections. That'll honestly help you reset what love is supposed to feel like. So, okay. So I know I'm keeping these episodes kind of short because I'm trying to really not ramble. But I also want the algorithm to push these. So, because I'm just a baby, I'm starting off. So I want these to get pushed. So I don't want them to be too crazy long. So that's all we're going to have for today's episode. But thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is Am I the Patient? And if this resonated with you, just share it with somebody who might need to hear it. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Because honestly, let's be real. We all know somebody who confuses chaos with chemistry. And if we don't know, then we didn't know. And we might know in the future, okay? So, yeah. Oh, and if this also spoke with you or resonate with you, I would love to hear from you. Please click on my Linktree in the comments or the description. I have the link to a Google form where you can drop your own Am I the Patient moment, or you can literally email me directly. That's amithepatientpod@gmail.com. So yeah, I am rambling. Your story might even end up in a future episode. So please go ahead, send that link, send me the tea, and let's figure out this healing together. All right, y'all. Until next time, thank you so much. Check your bonds, check your love, and remember, not every spark is supposed to be a fire. All right. I'll see y'all later. Bye.